如果你想真正的读懂一座城市，我觉得最好的方式啊，就是去跟它亲密接触，去脚踏实地的了解它，去感受它。那今天呢，雪乔就要为大家推荐一条深度的城市游路线。那透过呢这些我们可能平常很难察觉到的社区建筑，来感受和探寻属于洛杉矶它自己的一些古老的故事。
So garden apartments are typically two-story buildings that are organized in courtyards to create a sort of centralized space. They're typically on pretty large-scale sites, actually, 5 acres to 60 plus acres. And they typically create an organization internally that's different from the organization of the blocks around it. I am a professor at the USC Price School of Public Policy, but I am also an architect who is very interested in housing. So my job at USC is to teach design across disciplines to urban planning and real estate development students, and my research specifically focuses on 20th century housing. So Gloria Homes is where we are right now. This project was built in 1951. The architect was Maurice Fleischmann, and it had 400 plus units, and they're all built around a sort of curvilinear internal road, and all the buildings are built around courtyards. And that's another sort of characteristic of garden apartments that's really important. They create small-scale neighborhood-like courtyards that break down the sort of overall scale of the project and create identity. The Village Green, or what was originally called Baldwin Hills Village, is really one of the most important housing precedents in the nation. It's one of the only garden apartments designed by Clarence Stein on the West Coast. So it's a National Historic Landmark, so it's a very significant early example of garden apartments on the West Coast. And we really see a lot of the important characteristics. So it's on a 68-acre site, it's over 600 units, and they have an internal green space that's really 3 spaces all in a row that's 13 plus acres of open space, so grass and trees and ivy and sort of informal but pretty well organized landscape. And then around the perimeter, you have all the sort of 2-story housing buildings that are, again, organized around courtyards. But what the Village Green did that is not replicated here is they had what is called a super block with no through streets. So instead of through streets, you have garage courtyards that face out to the street, and internal garden courtyards that face out to the Village Green, which is the internal green space.
The trails are really telling stories. It's sort of a narrative. When you're on a trail going from stop to stop, you're learning about the development of a style, or you're learning about the development of an architect. And each house has its own kind of history of its owners and history of, how the structure came to be, and a history of the neighborhood.
其实，在19世纪末、20世纪初的时候呢， 人类的城市的工业化、城市化进展得非常的快，已经进入了快车道，所以很多城市呢都出现了人口密集过大、密度过大，还有像是贫富对立啊，还有污染的这样的问题。那也就是在此时，在英国有一位城市学家，他叫埃比尼泽霍华德，那他呢就创立了一种城市规划的理论，也是改变了现代城市所有的世界城市规划的这样的一个理论的基础，叫做田园城市模型。那也是这样的一个田园城市模型呢，一经推出来之后，在全世界都受到了追捧，大家都非常的喜欢，像美国呀、欧洲的很多国家，甚至亚洲都有依照田园城市这个理论的模型来建造的社区，还有一些城市等等。那像在天津呢，就有这样的英租界的推广界，就是现在在东亚保存最完整，也是最早也是最规模化的这样的一个区域，也就是城市田园城市的这个规划的模型。你会因为什么而爱上一座城市呢？是一个人，还是一个梦想、一处美食、一片海、一条街道，或者是一些生活里的细节和点滴呢？或许每个人的心中都有属于他自己的答案，也或许你还没有找到。那不妨走出家门，看看这座城市，听听它的故事，也许我们就能找到住在这里的理由。